Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Premier League pundit says Bukayo Saka is like gold dust. Glenn Murray has been lavishing praise upon Bukayo Saka. Speaking on a Premier League Productions Team Talks, Murray gave his verdict on Saka, and he had nothing but good things to say about the Arsenal star. Murray spoke about how much Saka has matured over the past 2 years, and he says that he is the type of player who can affect games from out of nowhere, stating that this type of player is so hard to find. Indeed, Murray says Saka's abilities are like gold dust, hailing the winger for his ability to come up with the goods time and time again. Murray spoke highly of Saka. He said, "For me, I think that he learned a lot at the Euros when he missed that penalty. He grew up as a person, I think, and he came out of the other side much better than he went into it. He affects games. Sometimes he might be quiet in a game, but then he will create something and he will score a goal, and they are hard to find. They are really hard to find at his age. I think it's fantastic." Murray is absolutely right. You don't come across a player like Saka very often at all. The youngster is proving himself to be a truly generational talent, and it's fair to say that he is a one-of-a-kind player at the moment. Saka's ability to spark something out of nothing is something that only the best of the best have, and he is certainly in that bracket right now. If Arsenal go on to win the Premier League, Saka would be a worthy Player of the Year winner. Frank Leboeuf says William Saliba is Arsenal's most important player. A number of players can be considered in the Player of the Year conversation when it comes to Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. The Gunners sit top of the Premier League table and have seen a number of key players perform to their highest standard all season long. But while a lot of attention has been given to the likes of Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard and Martinelli, former Chelsea defender Frank Leboeuf thinks William Saliba is the main man. Saliba returned to Arsenal in the summer after a loan spell with Marseille saw him make his name over in France, and speaking on the ESPN podcast, former Blues Eyes Leboeuf believes Saliba deserves huge credit for his role. When asked who'd been the main man this season, Leboeuf believes Saliba has to be in the conversation. He said, "I will go for Saliba. What I see from him from the first day to now is absolutely fantastic. He is still a very young player, and of course, he is not on the offensive line, so maybe we don't see him as much, but the way he conducts the defense and the way he plays, how he anticipates the game, for me makes him the most influential player for the Gunners. I think he has stabilized the defense. He is the first to serve the players in the middle of the park properly, so Saliba has to get a lot of credit for Arsenal's result." Alongside Gabriel at the back, William Saliba has been outstanding. He and the Brazilian have formed the bedrock of this Arsenal side, which has been so exceptional. For Saliba, the key now for the club is getting him tied down to a fresh contract. The Frenchman has yet to sign in new terms, and there will be some nerves at the club that he might have his head turned. Leboeuf is right though. Saliba has been outstanding. He is one of a number of Arsenal players who could be their Player of the Year. Mikel Arteta offers advice to Arsenal loanee Folarin Balogun. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has offered some advice to Folarin Balogun as his international future continues to be up in the air. The young Gunners striker joined French side Stade Reims on loan last summer. He has been a revelation in Ligue 1, scoring more goals than Lionel Messi and Neymar so far this season. Balogun is a wanted man now, not just at club level, but also internationally, with both England and the USA keen to secure his future. Even though Folarin Balogun has been tearing it up in France, he wasn't considered by Gareth Southgate for England's game against Italy and Ukraine last week. That may have rubbed the 21-year-old the wrong way, and rumors have been going around that he will now commit his future to the USA. Mikel Arteta, who knows Balogun very well, having given him his debut at Arsenal, was asked if he has any advice for the talented youngster as he decides on his international future. The Arsenal boss praised him for his phenomenal season and then told him to focus only on the present, not the future. He said, as per Arsenal.com, "My advice is focus on today and focus on what he has been doing because he has been phenomenal. Keep doing what he has been doing and don't focus on anything else, and everything else will come naturally. I would try to do what he has been doing because he's been working really well for him and the team." Arteta's advice is perfect. There are still 10 games left this season, and Rams, to many people's surprise, are just 7 points behind the European places in the League One table. Balogun is their main man, and they need all of his attention on the business end of the season now. If he continues to deliver, there is every chance they will play in Europe next season. As for his future, there will be a lot of time to decide once this campaign is over. Mikel Arteta confirms Arsenal are trying to bring Arsene Wenger back. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has revealed that the Gunners have made some important steps in their attempt to bring Arsene Wenger back to the club. The legendary Frenchman left the Emirates at the end of the 17-18 season after 22 years at the helm. He is one of the biggest reasons why Arsenal are a huge club today, and he is loved by everyone there. Wenger has only ever returned to Arsenal once since his departure. Arteta has previously spoken about his desire to bring him back, and he has now revealed that his club are getting closer and closer. Arsene Wenger has tried to stay away from Arsenal as much as possible since his departure. The Frenchman, who won 17 trophies as Gunners boss, including 3 Premier League titles, did not want his presence in the stands to put pressure on the manager at the helm. Wenger finally agreed to come back on Boxing Day last year to see his beloved Arsenal beat West Ham United at the Emirates. He was given a fantastic welcome by the fans, and he met all the players as well after the game. Mikel Arteta was asked if he is still talking to Wenger, and the Arsenal boss admitted that they are in contact. He also revealed that the club are trying to bring him back, and some important steps have already been taken. He told Arsenal.com, "We are in touch. You know that he has been trying to stay away, and that is the way he is. We are trying to bring him back closer and closer, and I think we have made some very important steps there, and his influence is going to be there. Some days his presence is enough." Speaking about Wenger's Hall of Fame induction, he said, "It's no question. He deserves to be there, and I am so proud of him and to have been part of his career as a player, what he did for the club and football in general. He is someone exceptional that deserves a huge place in the football world." Declan Rice likely to join Arsenal this summer. A lot has already been made of Declan Rice and a potential transfer to Arsenal during the next summer transfer window. Rice is being tipped to leave West Ham. After remaining loyal in recent seasons, Rice is finally set to depart the Hammers and go in search of Champions League football. As we know, a number of big clubs, including Arsenal and Chelsea, are keen on signing the Englandman. The big question on Declan Rice has always been where he will end up. There has, for years now, been a common acceptance that Chelsea might be his landing spot. However, with his best friend Mason Mount potentially leaving and the Blues struggling, Rice is expected to look elsewhere, and according to the Telegraph, Arsenal is considered the most likely destination as of right now for Rice. The Telegraph reports how Rice is considered Arsenal's top target at the moment. He is more likely to be pursued than his England teammate Jude Bellingham, who the Gunners feel could cost that bit too much. Bellingham is expected to join either Real Madrid, Man City or Liverpool. Both he and Rice impressed recently for England, with Steven Gerrard even labeling Rice's performance as the perfect way to answer any critics he might have. There are a few signings Arsenal can make this summer to take them to that next level, and landing Declan Rice is one of them. The West Ham and England man has been brilliant for a number of years now. but he is done his time at West Ham and he can expect to bring in a big fee for the Hammers as well as build on his £60,000 a week wages. If Arsenal do get Rice, then it's another game changer. Few players can improve their starting 11 right now, but Declan Rice is one player who can. Kolo Muani, a player Arteta is looking at. Arsenal are among the clubs considering making a move for Eintracht Frankfurt star forward Kolo Muani. Muani has emerged as one of the star names on the European market after his fine form for Frankfurt and cameo roles for France in the World Cup. Frankfurt are believed to value Muani very highly. The German side wants around £79 million for Muani, although claims have even suggested that the asking price could go above £100 million as well. According to a fresh report from 90 Minutes today, Muani remains a player very much in demand. It's claimed that Manchester United remain keen on the Frenchman. Interestingly, though, Arsenal are mentioned in the report as having explored the potential of doing a deal for Muani. Along with the Newcastle United, the Gunners are believed to have considered making a move for Muani. Lauded by German Jonas during the World Cup for his brilliant impact on the France side, the 24-year-old is considered one of the top prospects on the European market right now. Muani has scored 11 Bundesliga goals this season, along with 12 assists. His pace, movement, and potential make him one of the players likely to attract plenty of attention this summer. There is no doubting about Kolo Muani's potential and ability. He is a player with a lot of quality who brings pace and explosiveness to the fold. However, for Arsenal, the key in their next few signings is signing players who improve the first 11 or at the very least really put the pressure on the first choices. Right now, despite his potential, there has to be question marks over whether Muani is that player. Sure, he has done well this season in Germany, but making the jump to England with a club the size of Arsenal is a big old step. Arsenal could bid for £55 million rated attacker Rafinha. Arsenal are reportedly interested in signing the Brazilian winger Rafinha at the end of the season. A report from Football Insider claims that the Gunners are considering submitting a bid for the Barcelona winger. The 26-year-old has been on their radar ever since he joined Leeds United, and this summer could be their golden opportunity to land the Brazilian. Barcelona paid £55 million for Rafinha at the start of the season, but the 26-year-old has not been at his best. His inconsistent performances have attracted a lot of criticism, and the report claims that Barcelona could look to sell him if they can get their money back. The Spanish club are going through financial difficulties, and Rafinha could be sold to raise funds. Apparently, Chelsea has shown an interest in signing the player in the summer as well, and it will be interesting to see if Arsenal can beat their London rivals and secure the Brazilian services. Chelsea recently invested in Mikhail and Noni Madwick, and it would be quite surprising if they decide to spend big money on another winger. The Blues should look to bring in a striker instead. Meanwhile, Arsenal are pretty much guaranteed to play in the Champions League next season, and they are well placed to win the Premier League title. They are likely to be a more attractive destination compared to Chelsea, and Rafinha could look to join them if he returns to the Premier League. Arsenal need to add more depth to their attack, and the arrival of Rafinha will allow them to rotate key players like Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli next season. The 26-year-old played his best football in the Premier League with Leeds, and a return to his comfort zone could help him get back to his best. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.